Hello everyone, welcome back to the Melee Pistols Grim Dawn walkthrough. We are back and we are going to be hitting up the Bastion of Chaos. So let's just hop right into it. I'm going to be clearing this out obviously, and then after that, I'm not really sure where else we're going to go from there. This would not be the fastest way this would be. These guys are still worth fighting. Do a long throw there for the group. That's one of my favorite things about this build, is that no matter what situation you're in, it has an answer. Not necessarily a 100% accurate answer, but it's got one. For example, trying the long spread shot of stun jacks against enemies in, spread out groups like this one is fairly hit or miss. Sometimes it works out really well and you clear the entire group, and then sometimes you'll whiff really hard and kill maybe one or two of them. It's very random, so you do have an element of surprise with every fight, which I also really like. This is one of the few builds that I could just constantly run and not really ever get bored of it, because the actual mechanics of how it works keeps things really fresh and interesting pretty consistently. When I need consistency, all I have to do is run up on the enemy, and I'm almost guaranteed to hit all my shots. Pretty much. So I'll long throw that because there's a lot of guys there. You can see about half of them actually made impact. And then we actually have the explosive, the bursting rounds we can use as well, because they're all nicely clustered together. Pretty soon we'll have Inquisitor Seal, which will allow us to just stand in straight tank. And then after that we grab ourselves Inquisitor Seal, which will allow us to do much the same thing. That was a complete whiff, but yet enough of those stun jacks hit to actually stun them, so that was fairly nice. Just absolutely wipe out. You can see where the build is starting to really come together. Keep in mind, this is primarily because I did work on Vindictive Flame first. While Inquisitor Seal is going to keep alive longer, and so will, frankly, Word of Renewal, the problem with those is that they really don't increase your damage output quite as massively as Vindictive Flame does, because not only are you doing the retaliation damage, but you're also damaging enemies within a certain radius of you. It's increasing your attack speed, it's allowing you to drain life, it's got all these amazing different things that it can do. I can't remember how much scrap I need here. I'll take 30 out. I can't quite remember how many that takes. It's not a huge deal if I have leftovers. I have Vitality, but I don't need that. We need a Chaos Resistance Potion for going in there. It's going to get really ugly otherwise. The only reason... Now, you may be wondering, well, why are you so focused on this one? Why are you so concerned about dying here when you weren't previously? Well, first off, we're going to be going into a key dungeon. That makes quite a difference. I'm trying to actually... I don't have Chthonic Seals of Binding, apparently. I'm fresh out. I'll have to farm those at some point. Probably over the weekend. But otherwise, yeah. First off, it is a key dungeon that we're trying to get through, at least to some specific extent. The second thing is, the Void is just a nightmare to deal with, in general. 40 scrap. Okay, goodness gracious. Alright. Back we go for 10 more scrap. Actually, I probably won't farm with... Well, I can't farm with, this character, because they're obviously being used for this delightful series, which so far is my favorite of the three that I've done, although the Taken was really nice. Demon I knew was going to be a problem. I should have had more items for him. I'll return to him eventually. I'm just trying to... this build is just more interesting, I think, to a lot of viewers, and maybe I can grab some items for Demon that'll actually work. But this is actually a more successful example of a directed build, where I'm taking a specific concept and just kind of improvising my way through it. Now, this is not the first time I've played this build. I've played this build a couple of times. I believe it's been 2 or 3 times specifically. And, alright. Our monsters are highly resistant to crowd control, don't care. Poisonous monsters deal additional poison damage, are susceptible to vitality. I don't do vitality, but my poison acid resistance is high, so that's fine with me. Hello. primarily what I will be looking to do is just trying to find my way through here as quickly as possible, because this part is not important, this section right here. I believe it's going to the upper right that I need to be going to, but I want to grab some of these chests just to see if there's anything useful here. Again, these enemies are slightly higher in level than me. This is about the level we'll be expecting to see the lower crossing in Elite. So once again, yeah, we're really not going to be looking to necessarily get too high in level. Like I said, I want to try and keep under 55. I'm actually going to answer a question a viewer had. I will put your name in the description, because right now, you know, I can't remember it right off the top of my head while fighting for my life. But the question was, why am I so concerned about being under a certain level? And I did answer this in the comments, but I would like to reiterate it here for everyone who didn't necessarily see the comment, just to have that knowledge. Because I've only mentioned this twice, and that was while intense things are going on. So while we're just in the void, although the void is not exactly the greatest place to approach this subject, but I will reiterate just in case. Anyways, to the main point, the Elite difficulty starts out at roughly, I would say between 50 and 55. I can't 100% remember what the peak level is on lower crossing Elite, but the reason why you don't want to be too high when you go into Elite is you will need, when you first go into Elite, you will need new items, almost guaranteed. Just because of the increase in difficulty of the enemies, they do more damage, they have more HP, your decreased resistances, which will probably require you to adjust your items slightly, and you will probably find that you do less damage because enemies have better resistances. So you will need to update your pretty much everything, which is very normal. However, in order to do this, you need to be as low a level as possible. Now, usually when you, on the other hand though, you don't want to be too low a level either. Generally speaking, I try to be around level 50 when I go into Elite. That is usually where I like to be at. It's a fairly safe level, because at level 50, you're going to start seeing pretty consistent Elite and Legendary items, which is what you want when you enter Elite. You really don't want to be entering Elite under level 50, because, you know, the point of increasing in difficulty is to have better chances of getting these powerful items that will potentially help you out. So going into Elite under level 50 is absolute nonsense, but going too far over level 50 means you're actually less likely to get items, because even though you're at the higher difficulty, you're such a high level that you're not really going to get any rewards. Now, whether or not this matters partially depends on what your specific plan is. I have started characters in Elite, basically, which you can do, it depends on the build. This build probably could pull off a Elite start, whereas Demon clearly could not. Although Demon is doing better on Ultimate, that is because of the influence of shrines. Again, save the shrines for Ultimate if you can afford to. That really depends on your individual character and how far you are. For example, this build is really going well enough that I'm not really going to need shrines even in Elite. I do not anticipate a problem. This has been absolutely slapping through people, and that is just because of how good this build is at dealing with a large variety of different... Those are really nice gloves. A large variety of different situations. Like I said earlier, I can deal with... It's primarily intended to deal with bosses pretty consistently. I don't have a stupid key. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Alright. Shoot. So, that's a goof on my part. Where's the portal? Anyways, back to the main point. This build probably won't have much trouble in Elite, but from the looks of things, I'll probably be pushing 55, which is not quite what I want to be doing. I'm going to be a little higher than I would ideally want to. I'll still be running through Elite pretty normally, but frankly, the overarching issue here is that I won't be getting as good stuff as maybe I would if I had been a lower level. And that is mostly because I just have not died as much with this build as maybe I would have with another one. It really depends on your build, what items you happen to already have reserved, your luck with items during the course of Veteran as well. I've been pretty lucky with my defensive equipment, but my weaponry I have not been so lucky with, so that's fairly interesting. my damage will probably, there we go, that's pretty good. My damage will probably fall off pretty hard as a result, at least until I can get to level 62. I completely forgot I didn't have a key. That was very silly of me, but it's not too big of a problem because we already cleared out the area. It's not like those enemies are going to respawn in the meantime. And we have plenty of money. We're going to sell this trash first, too, since we've already examined it. Yeah, we're fine. So that is essentially why it's pretty important to not necessarily be such a high level. Of course, the commenter the specific commenter mentioned that they were level 70 in, I believe they were in Elite at level 70, but they could be in Veteran, and they were farming for reputation gains. I usually save, I mean, it's fine to, when you farm reputation for factions, you want to do it in either Elite or Ultimate, depending on how strong your build is, or how necessary a specific item is for a build. For example, I'm going to take an example I had very recently. I was attempting to build a Nightblade Inquisitor build focused around the Bloodboar pistols. These are legendary pistols that you can craft using a recipe from the Cult of Bismiel. Now, I did not yet personally own the recipe, so what I should have done and what I did not do is farm reputation with this character in Elite. I did not do this. I went straight to Ultimate in an attempt to farm the reputation faster, because you theoretically get more reputation in Ultimate from monsters, which I don't remember ever actually being true, but that's the theory. I don't know if it used to be true. I'm pretty sure it isn't true anymore if it was. But, you know, your rewards in Ultimate, at least non-rep-wise, are definitely better, so I just went straight to Ultimate, and it did not go well. I wound up scrapping that character for the time being. If I tried that particular build again, I will have to approach that much, much differently than what I did this time. But I would, if I were to play that character, then I would be wanting to potentially farm more in Elite, because the character was not ready for Ultimate. That was made very clear to me very quickly. Whereas with other characters, maybe you have the ability to farm in Ultimate. Now, if you're not already in Ultimate with a level 70 character, go for it. You're at level 70, dear commenter. Like I said, your specific username will be in the description. I do appreciate the question. It's actually an excellent question. But if you're at level 70, I would recommend moving up to Ultimate and farming your rep gains there. Another thing that I typically farm my reputation in Ultimate, because if I go ahead and clear all of that faction's quests in the previous two difficulties, that is an absolutely massive boost in reputation. And by the time you get to Ultimate, you should at least have the ability to purchase the writ of that faction, which is generally what you want to farm reputation the fastest. So usually, not always, but usually, I will farm my reputation in Ultimate. Again, it does depend upon the circumstances. You have to be looking at your build and ask yourself, honestly, if I were to waltz into Ultimate, would I survive? Do I have some way of maintaining my damage output against the enemies most resistant to my build? Do I have this already? If the answer is no, don't go up to Ultimate. For example, this is why I believe this character could, at this point, already go up to Elite. I'm going to wait a little bit, obviously. I want to get some more reputation increases first, but this character could easily move up to Elite, and maybe even very quickly after that Ultimate, because I have Aura of Censure, which is decreasing the elemental resistance of enemies. I am playing the melee pistol run, so the range of this is not a bother. My elemental damage is going quite nicely, and because I have all of these abilities, I could probably manage a really good Ultimate run with very little difficulty, I think. I don't really think that would be a huge problem. I would need it to be a slightly higher level than this. I would want to be... Well, no, I probably actually could if I was really paranoid and cautious. I could probably go through Ultimate for a good amount of time. I wouldn't expect to see any kind of serious issues until I hit probably Mammoth, because there's a decent amount of fire resistance, a decent amount of elemental resistance at large there. But by that time I would theoretically be a much higher level and have access to better items as well, so that would theoretically counterbalance that out. But that's what the problem with Demon was, is that Demon just didn't have the skills and or equipment needed to even get through Elite at that point. I should have put Demon through Veteran first, build up the experience, build up some items at the very least, that would allow them to be able to punch through the debilitating chaos and fire resistance of the Chthonics that I happen to be fighting right now with this character. So that's really what you want to be thinking about. Okay, there's too much there. There's too much chaos damage. We're going to back it up a little bit. Alright. Play this a little safe. Okay, I think most of the ones throwing out the giant balls of chaotic fire are dead, so we can just straight take this guy. Yeah. But it is something you have to be really honest with yourself. If you are unsure, do a test run at your current difficulty. Go into, let's say, I don't know what class off the top of my head. I don't know if the commentary even mentioned their class. I think they might have. But I can't 100% remember what that was. But let's say, actually, let's go ahead and take this character right here as an example. I am primarily focusing on elemental damage, and I had some difficulties with Malmoth. Now, what this translates to me is that I could probably survive Elite at this point, and I could survive Ultimate up to Malmoth, but at Malmoth I would have a problem. So I would then be having to basically gamble that I could find the items I need to punch through the elemental resistance of the Ethereals in Malmoth by the time I got to that point, which is a fairly risky move. Basically speaking, what this is going to kind of come down to is how tanky is your class, because that will be your margin for error. For example, the Taken didn't really have to worry too much because the Taken was very tanky, so I could afford to get away with much uglier fights with the Taken, because the Taken's goal, well, one of the Taken's primary goals was large amounts of durability, self-heal, defense, the whole works. So the Taken could carry off a lot of fights that maybe even this character couldn't, simply through sheer durability, sheer outlasting the enemy. So that wasn't a problem with the Taken. The Taken, by the way, if you didn't watch that series, was a defensive-focused, shield-wielding, soldier arcanist combination. So that the Taken could have gotten through a lot more than even this character could, just by merit of the substantial defenses present with that build. Whereas this character is much more DPS focused, especially right now. While there is some defensive aspects to the build that I'm going to incorporate, again, since this is a directed improv, you can absolutely go with other things if you want to. You are free to alter this around. But I'm going to be incorporating some mild defensive aspects, namely the Inquisitor Seal, the Word of Renewal. There are too many of these Chaos Stones. The Chaos Emeralds. Actually, I guess they're Chaos Rubies, aren't they? There's the hero there. Go ahead and use the health potion a little early there. Alright, so the hero died, but he infected me with the Vitality Blast. Go ahead and throw a long... Oh, that was terrible. Oh, I'm rooted. Alright. We're gonna have to go absolute balls to the wall here, then. There we go. Alright. Very nice. So, that's really how you want to approach that, broadly speaking. Well, who's blazing me with fire? Is that just... I can never remember if that's a natural thing that happens, or if there's some enemy that's actually doing that. Okay, we have a problem here. I think, oh, that's the stupid crystal specifically. Well, you guys are hanging around here. That's a level up I didn't need right now, but alright. Alright, well, we might as well go for it. There we go. And I believe we just loop around here. Yeah. Okay, yeah, we're gonna We're going to back up a little bit here. Yeah, oh, this is not great. Good thing my poison hazard resistance is pretty high. That's chaos I'm standing in. Which is a problem. Alright, this might be the end of me. Nope, we're just going to absolutely blast right through. Come on, we ain't got time for this. Get out of here. That's right. Punk. I forgot. I should never be retreating. I should be attacking at pretty much all times. I don't want to get too close to that stone, though. That's going to be a problem. Anyone else want some? Yeah? That's what I thought. Got to go back and pick up that right-handed cartridge at some point. Get right in the thick of it. Come on. Retreat is for the weak. There we go. Well, that was exciting. Alright, well, that happened. Thanks for the bits. Oh, silly crystal. Murders for kids. Anyways. So, more heroes. Alright. Loop around, deal with... no, we're gonna deal with you last, actually. I think that would be the smart thing to do. Okay, we do need to do a slight retreat here. No, we don't. I'm wrong, actually. We're wiping them out. Come on. What you punks got? Nothing? I'm gonna readjust here. Stop you from behind. You're a durable boy. Look at you and your 200,000 health. Get out of here, that nonsense. Get. My energy regeneration is not quite as high as maybe I would like it to be. I'll have to keep an eye on that. Alright, so. Huh. Wait, those pants might have actually been good. No. Whoop, hello. Excuse me? I didn't ask for a party. There's just so many enemies here, it doesn't matter where I go, I'll just wipe them all out. This is fine. Ulzuin's Wrath for the win. That's right. One of you slaps me, four of you die. That's basically how this goes. What are you doing? Get out of here. No one has time for you. Alright, these pants. Pierce Aether. Alright, pretty important. Elemental? No. Okay, we don't need those pants. Well. Alright then. Ooh, wait. Okay, yeah, we are going to have to retreat on this one. That is too much chaos damage coming my way in a short amount of time. I'm weak. Weak in the knees. Alright, so, I don't want to get stuck on the bridge, because that's basically death. I'm going to run around a little bit here and see what we can do. Alright, so that crystal's gone, which is nice. Fortunately, they don't have any of those healing lunatics. That would be deeply unfortunate. We're going to finish you off really quick. There we go. Activate that. Hit you guys with that. Try not to get stuck. I'm going to hit you with that because you're almost dead, and I think we can arrange for your untimely demise pretty soon. You're gone. Yep, just take you out really quick. Then we have you. Problem with you is that you're resistant to lightning by a large degree. I can tell just by the fact that you've got large quantities of lightning on your back. Dead giveaway. And your vitality damage is not helping. And these guys back here throwing around the chaos. Ooh, I probably should get rid of these guys, honestly. There was one of them. There were some really wild stunjacks there. I want to get rid of this guy here first. Get out of here. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Alright. Now, how much can we take you on straight up? You don't get stunned, which is traumatic. And you also hit like a steam engine for some reason at melee range. You can't hit me like with anything ranged, though, which is interesting. Alright. That's fine. Oh, nope. Yeah, that was a mistake. I walked right into that one. There we go. Grab that. Grab these. Oh, that's just your lightning damage. I have really good lightning resistance. I'm not so concerned about that. I didn't want to shoot these guys. I wanted to... There we go. Hit me with more lightning, guy. Come on. That's not lightning. You're not listening, Mr. Tuba. Yeah. It got clipped there lightly, but not too big of a deal. Alright. There he goes. Okay. I was going to say, he just cornered me really nicely, so gotta be careful about this. Okay. That was more exciting than it needed to be. Lay down, please. Thank you. Just bust this open. Wow, so worth. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. Anyways, that was disappointing. Now on to the real deal. This is where we will find the pulsating obsidian shard, I believe. I got somebody down there that has it. Boom. That was actually a really weak sauce stunjack throw, so we're just going to ignore that. Take that. Oh. Uh-oh. I probably shouldn't have run this direction specifically, but it's whatever. Yeah, I was standing in chaos. It's usually what happens. Yeah, we don't need to go down there, so we can just go right over here. Throw that out there before we go in here. Who's this straggler? Get out of here. I don't need to be tailed. Oh, it's an ambush, huh? I think you will find that you have me right where I want you. Was that torso piece actually good? No, it was trash. Alright, nice. I don't remember where the guy is. I think... Well, I'm pretty sure a star shows up on the map, so I'm not that concerned about it. Alright. This swine crystal. Oh my goodness. And dude summoned? Get out of here. Alright, we can't go that way, so we'll have to go this way. That just makes it more exciting. More special. Hey, random boss. Okay, you've got loads of cronies just coming out of the woodwork. No one asked for them, no one wanted them, but here they are. Wait. I get the feeling your melee attacks are actually weak sauce. Yeah, they kinda are. Alright. So, just stick close and not stand in the blood. Wait, my bleeding resistance is pretty high though, isn't it? Yeah, it's 80%. We're fine. Yeah, we're actually totally fine here. Use a health potion. Continue wailing on this guy. His cronies die to my aura of censure, so this is fine. Yeah, restore that blood sigil. Go for it. See if I care. I'll use another health potion. I'll do it again, too. Man, that Harbinger of Blood was absolute weak sauce, I'm telling you. Not really worth it. Was that a hand blunderbuss? It was. Not bad, either. It says plus 44, but it does physical damage, which I'm not really heavily focused on. But then again, I also don't have anything specifically boosting fire or physical damage, so I guess it doesn't really matter in the long run. It increases Aether damage, which is kind of silly. We'll probably pass on this one. I think the Devil Touched Ammo is better. The increase in Aether damage is actually a really bad thing, because I don't do it, so it's actually not a genuine bona fide increase. Alright. I'll, I guess, go the long way around here. There we go. Delightful. I was wondering when you guys were going to notice me. Busting down your door. No. Don't run into my room. Get out of here. Don't you have any respect for my privacy? Get out! Alright. Pretty sure I'm making my way downtown. I need to back up slightly because I'm taking large quantities of chaos damage. Another chaos damage hit. Now we bust in here, we wipe them all out really quick so they can stop throwing chaos damage at me. Just like that. There we go. Yeah, see, they keep throwing the chaos at me. Stop that. There's too many of these crystals running around. Hold on. I need to wait for these to fade a little bit more. There we go. Health potion at the very least so we can wipe out a large quantity of the enemies while that's going on. Okay, excellent. Very clean. I don't think I actually need to go over there. I think I just go this way. There we go. Alright. I think I activated those guys down there entirely by accident. I think they were hit by my Aura of Censure, despite the fact that I'm on a completely different elevation. Goodbye. Alright. Now, I'm pretty sure I picked up... No, I remember it specifically said, Soil's Malice, which means it's not for me. Yeah, there they are. Slight scattering of the stun jacks, this is fine. Take out the guy behind me so I'm not completely surrounded, which you don't ever want. I don't care what build you are. Unless you're absolutely insane like me. Don't take my gameplay. My build advice, sure. My gameplay, maybe not. I'm kind of insane. Okay, now we're going to back up and lure you away from these idiot crystals. Okay, yeah. Desolation for the win. Now, I'm going to have to be careful killing these guys off, because when they die, they hit you with some vitality drain. Which, I mean, I have some vitality resistance. Obviously, I've got 80%, but it's still not something you necessarily want to be dealing with at the same time as other damage types. Ooh, that was very close. I almost died there. Case in point. Anyways, who's left alive? No one? That's beautiful. I have 12 of these hands, honestly. I have like 3 or 4 of these. Seriously, it's a problem. Okay, he's up here. The guy I need to whack is up here. Alright. There he is. Pretty sure that's the guy. It is. Alright, all his cronies are down, so let's see. Okay, he slaps with the melee damage. Holy cow. Hold on. Just relax for a second, guy. That's because he's got me, Curse of the Voided here. Oh, that tentacle is blocking my way. There we go. We'll stick with the melee for a hot second. Ironically, he does more damage with his physical attack than he does with chaos damage, which says a lot about my armor. Of course, the tentacle's slapping me at the same time. Okay. Oh, man. Ah, darn it. Okay. I reacted way too slow to that. If I had the Bloodbound weapon, I would have been fine. That's alright, though. We'll make another attempt later. That's fine. The only thing I'm actually concerned about is the fact that I'm going to get much more experience the next time around. That's not going to be good. I'm going to be so over-leveled for Elite. I'm already 52, which is not ideal. It's going pretty good up until then, though. But yeah, it's going to be it's probably going to hurt me later on. Going to be really honest. Alright, so we're going to store this stuff, and then we're going to finish Melmoth, I guess. Or, you know, we've got another half hour on this episode, so we'll do however much we can. There we go. We can put this back, too. Alright, well, that was an event. Oh, you know what we actually need to do? Hold on. No. Before we go back to Melmoth, there's one other key dungeon we actually need to deal with. which is the Ancient Grove, which is one of the shorter ones, actually. It's about the same length as the Steps of Torment, if I'm remembering correctly. Maybe a little bit longer. That's Coven's Refuge, straight to the left on the bottom. Pretty easy to remember the directions to there. Now, this isn't going to be quite as bad, because even though there are chthonic enemies that do chaos damage, it's only about 50% of them. So, the other 50%... Oh, hello. Oh, that's right. Yeah. No, we can deal with this too while we're here, because this is pretty quick overall. And she boosted my Aether damage, which, you know, I desperately needed. Thanks so much. Malavia? Malostria. Whatever. Now, I'm not too worried about the Wendigos this time around. They may have posed some mild damage problems before, you may have noticed, but the Wendigos and the Ugdenbog cannibals, they deal primarily bleeding and vitality. Chaos isn't really in their repertoire, and I have excellent resistances for both, as that boss in the Void proved, that I have good enough resistances to really not care. So we're just going to go ahead and whack this dude pretty casually. There we go. And then there's two more. There's one to the north, one to the south. We'll take her to the north one first, because we're going to be going on our way to the Ancient Grove anyways. So we're going to kind of want to hug the south side of Ugdenbog anywho. So we'll go for the north one first. It's not that far. Both of them are pretty close to the Coven's Refuge. They're really not that far away, so it's not that big of a problem to find these, usually. Just gonna deal with this really quick. My poison acid resistance is much better than it used to be, but these guys are clearly better against my lightning damage than the chthonics were. No, actually, I think the main problem is my weapons are just too weak, honestly. I think it would be the true issue here. I haven't updated my weapons in a hot minute, because there really hasn't been anything better. I have not found anything even remotely worth replacing them with, so now my damage output is a little lacking. At least my shots that I'm firing are a little lacking. We need to deal with some of these guys out here. A bit of a widespread. That wasn't bad. A bit more of a widespread. That did not spread at all. That all impacted that guy surprisingly longer range than normal. Alright, good. Oh yeah. Oh no, you don't transform into the little poison things. That's interesting. Elemental resistance. That has better this has better elemental resistance. Is less armor. Lightning sphere, which is pretty nice. +2 to stun jacks. I lose some physique, but I get more. No, I lose lightning damage, but I get electrocution damage. I'm going to equip this for three very specific reasons. I know I lose armor, and I just had a discussion where my armor could be higher, but the increase in stun jacks is nice. The lightning sphere is really nice, but most importantly, when I switch to elite, which will be pretty soon, it's not going to take me that much longer to get to elite, my elemental resistances are going to drop considerably. And what that means is that I will need this particular piece of torso armor to kind of keep me going in terms of my elemental resistance. Otherwise, we're going to have a serious issue. Gonna go ahead and get rid of some of these guys, because he's doing Aether damage, and that's not fun for me. My Aether resistance is only 21%. There we go. And that's the ward cleansed, so now we go south. Deal with the southern ward. Deal with this as well. There we go. There's the other ward. Alright, that's one of those bozos gone. That's two of those bozos. Three bozos. Throw this just a little this way. There we go. Just go ahead and whack this guy. Nice and clean. There we go. Alright, now before we report that back, we're just going to go ahead and keep on pressing to the right, get to the Ancient Grove. Yeah, you're big, tough, and angry. I don't care. I don't give a butts took us. There we go. Thank you. You can clear out of here. Alright, good. There we go. Now, see, two things of note. Another reason why I'm doing less damage than I did last time, would be a lot of these enemies have pretty decent lightning resistance. A lot of these plant-like enemies have decent to good lightning resistance. Especially the basilisks, you may have noticed. They're technically stone-hide basilisks, which they apparently interpreted to mean, quite logically, yeah, these should be relatively resistant to lightning, which makes sense. Secondly, besides the basilisks, a lot of these enemies are very susceptible to fire, and I did not put my... Having my auras on would help. Huh. My goodness. Yeah, that's a difference. Burn them over time. Yeah, the fire damage is what they're weak to, not the lightning damage. Lightning has never been what they've been weak to. Look here, I see you interrupting my spells, and I don't like it. Stop that. There we go. Yes, always remember to put your auras back on when you die. This is the second time I've forgotten that. Very fundamental factoid. I apologize. Probably viewers were yelling at the screen, "Put your auras on!" I apologize. I'm absent-minded. I'm sorry. I believe he gave me a key as well, but I need one for next episode when I go back to the other place anyways. I'm just gonna head straight north. It doesn't really make a difference. What are these bonuses? Elemental resistance, of course. Poisonous, yep. That checks out. Alright. You. Stop this nonsense immediately. Ah, good. Some enemies that are slightly less resistant to lightning. Namely the vultures. Thank you. Please drop that. Thank you. I'm waiting for one of these to actually drop that works with my specific combination. I have not been lucky enough to get that, but whatever. Alright. Look, I don't know what you think you're doing, but it's not working. Get out of here. Get. Oh, heroes. Hail, noble heroes. I put a rift down just in case, but yeah, I did need it. No, I did not need it. I did need it. I got poisoned. Right by Manticore, probably right at the end. I tried. Let's remember to put our stuff back on. I wanted to see if I could do it. There was a lot of enemies there, but I was just shy. If Ulzuin's Wrath had been a little higher, I probably would have been able to heal my way through the rest of that. Almost made it. There was only 2 guys left. 3, pardon me. My goodness. That was a fun experiment, though. Perfect. Get out of here. You're still alive? There you go. I was gonna say, I was about to be flabbergasted and disgusted. I don't know where these both those came from, but we'll do a longer range spread throw of the stun jacks to the manticores. That worked out really well for us. That was, yeah, trash. They were too small to try that on. At that range, anyways. Too close together. Excuse me. That is a hero over there. We are going to take him out. For the delicious reputation. Get out of here. Oh, he's resistant to cold, though, so we're not going to have a problem. For a second, I thought it was lightning, but he's not. He's cold. Yeah, there he goes. Leaving plants behind. Get out of here with that nonsense. Your plants mean nothing to me. And then we wipe this out. Excellent. Alright, we actually need those gloves because our current gloves are pierce resistance, which we don't need that much of. But we do need the chaos resistance very badly. Unfortunately, that requires us to be level 55. Yeah, we're not there yet. Alright. We're almost to the door. Wider spread. That was absolute trash. That was unlucky. But that's how it goes sometimes. Widespread? It was okay. That one on the far right there, that went absolutely nowhere useful. I mean, they usually follow you may have noticed they follow a broad, kind of consistent pattern, but it sometimes just goes wild, which is fun. Like I said, it keeps things interesting. Good throw, good throw. Hey, fellas. You wanna drop dead? Thanks. I appreciate. Actually, we'll go ahead and stun jack you to death. We'll take care of you, see if this rotting stump has anything. You res, that's fine. Just deal with that problem the old-fashioned way. Exploding mushrooms, you hate to see them. There we go. Let me see, how problematic are... Oh, okay, you got chaos. You got chaos vortexes, specifically. Let's be more specific. Not only do you have chaos vortexes, which is just inappropriate. Oh, another one. Great, thanks. Can you stop summoning those? Like, we're... Okay. Hold up. Give me a chance to use my constitution. Get out of my face. Another one of these. Really? You keep summoning chthonic beings that just don't matter. What's wrong with you? There we go. My goodness. Okay. That's nice. You know, that's just a straight increase in armor. It's just a higher level version of the shoes I already have, which is nice. Absolutely take that every day of the week. Thank you. Alright, we'll just hit the 2 bosses and probably move on. Or the 3 bosses. There's technically 3 bosses here. We just theoretically need to clear the, kill the end boss. So I'm not that concerned about the whole thing. There's a boss on the right and there's a boss on the left. So we'll just go ahead and deal with that best we can. Probably the left one would be the smarter one to take care of. There's also, I think, a little area to the side that we can do as well. That I believe offers us some pretty decent shot at some good loots. There we go. That was a good spread throw. Come on, bring reinforcements. I don't care. I wish you'd drop better stuff, though. I'd really appreciate that. Random heroes? Alright. I don't know who they think they are, but they're not what they think they are. Absolute weak sauce, I'm telling you. Hello. Those are nice pants. I lose a little bit of Aether resistance, but I gain so much more Chaos resistance that I think it's a really great swap here. The Constitution is kind of unimportant. Get more armor as well, that's pretty nice. Another hero up there, which we love to see. And you're gone. Alright, excellent. No, give me all the stuff, thank you. Just waltz down here and take care of these. This is where the fun begins. Hello. Will not stand in the poison, though. That's just unacceptable. Oh, reflective. Yeah, this could be a mild problem if we're incautious. Fortunately, we're legends. Alright. You have chaos damage, clearly, so we're going to want to keep an eye on you. You have Aether damage, clearly, so we're also going to want to keep an eye on you. Void Gaze Basilisk. Get out of here, we don't have time for that nonsense. Alright. There's a whole lot going down over here that I'm not 100% sure about. Okay, somebody's got ice here. Another Void Gate Basilisk we can get rid of. Healing potion. Thank you. Yeah, the ice could get me killed. We'll have to be extremely careful with that. Get out of here. Take your ice and go. Is it just these two? Oh, we can take care of this really quick then. Oh, there's too much random stuff going on. Yeah, there was too many of those little doodads there. Essentially, my Aether and Chaos resistances right now are just not high enough, which is unfortunate. But I think this will actually be a pretty decent time to end the episode, even though we basically failed at everything we attempted. At the very least, it was interesting to see where the flaws of my current setup are, and that's purely in the resistances at this point in time. Definitely a serious issue, which we kind of already expected when we went into these anyways. It's not like I don't have the resources to craft what we need, but what we really need to check is, are we any higher up with any of these groups? Well, we're almost at the point where we are honored by Homestead. That actually reminds me, we need to report in, we need to report in the quest here. This might push us up to 53, which is not exactly what we want. I'm probably going to be pretty heavily overleveled for Elite. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, it puts Ulzuin's Wrath up, which gives us a little bit more healing, which is fine. But still. Also notice that we are now hitting, we'll pretty soon be hitting or zapping 7 enemies, which is pretty important. I think next level up, at level 54, we'll be able to finish Ulzuin's Wrath, very specifically. We'll make another attempt at these key dungeons. Again, I might be able to, over the course of the day, grab some stuff for increased chaos resistance, which is really what's been holding me back. Afterwards, what we will need to be doing is... yeah, so we'll make another attempt at those. That's totally fine. I have slightly better armor. I do have better chaos resistance now than I used to. My Aether resistance is also up from something I have equipped. I believe that was... what was that increased my my Aether resistance? Oh, that's just from... yep, that's the Coven board. That's fine. So, yeah, we'll see if we can make it next time. We should be able to, actually, now that I have the much better chaos. I mean, it's still less than 50%, which is still not what you ideally want, but it is better than what it used to be, so you can take that however you want. But, yeah, we're going to make another attempt, definitely. I think... what do we have for... yeah, okay. So what we might do is try the Ancient Grove first, because that's a lot of beasts. And if we can get to Honored at Homestead, what we can have access to is first off the writ, obviously, which is nice. Whether or not we'll actually need it, considering all things. I mean, we're still in Veteran at this point. We'll probably hit Revered well before Ultimate, so I'm not necessarily sure I need the writ in this particular scenario. But if we get to this point, we could go for this amulet. Obviously, we have the pendant of the Royal Crown. We don't need to. More importantly, I would like to see if we could get any of these going. What I really actually should check, and what might really push me to where I need to be, is a glyph for my metal. If one exists that's significant enough. I've always got scrap metal. I've got scrap metal coming out of my ears. Let me see. Disengage Frost. Thunderous Clap of Running, which also does cold damage for some reason. That's Poison. Acid. That's Fire, which is fine. We don't have a shield, and we don't want to rush, and we don't do Vitality or Bleeding. A lot of these are going to just be not great. Yeah. Alright. Uh-huh. There's that, of course. Yeah. Not a lot of these are fantastic, but that's fine. Really, what we really technically need is just the shrapnel pistol. It's just a so much higher amount of damage output, but we don't have the ability to do that, and we really don't have. There's not a whole lot of excellent guns to purchase. Anyways, we'll probably do the Sacred Grove first. See if we can get up to Honored here, so we at least have access to some of these augments, even if we aren't necessarily able to use them. I can't remember if you can use those with pistols. They say one-handed weapons, but I can't remember if that counts or qualifies the pistols. I can't remember, but I'm going to try it. If it does work, then what we'll be looking to use it with would be the Rain Collar Powder, specifically. I think this does apply to this. I just can't remember. It's been a while since I've tried these. But we'll do Sacred Grove first, get that extra damage in there. After that, it's pretty much free-for-all. I will go to the Bastion of Chaos, clear that. Once we're done with that, obviously we'll finish Malmoth. And that's the rough plan there. So if you liked this, thank you very much for joining me, actually. First off, thank you very much. I do appreciate you joining me on this adventure. An adventure is always better with friends. So thank you. Even though I died. But it's fine. We'll make another attempt next episode. And as always, thank you very much for joining me. If you like this, please like and subscribe. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, ideas, leave them down in the comments below. I do read them. And have a great 24 hours.